Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is rejecting from very important resistance in the short term, but it's now also testing important support that we need to pay attention to, while the price of Ethereum is getting extremely close to breaking out from this price pattern, while Solana is now about to retest important support, while XRP is also testing important support in the short term, while the price of Chainlink is now rejecting from this critical area of resistance. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin chart, and technically speaking, despite seeing short-term pullbacks, the price of Bitcoin is still within a larger bull market on these larger time frames. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, of course, we've not yet fully regained the bullish momentum that we were previously seeing a few months ago. So we're still currently lacking momentum on the larger time frames. But with that being said, based on these sort of signals that we're seeing at the moment, very similar to what we saw pretty much exactly 1 year ago, possibly very soon, as in talking about the next few weeks or so, we might start regaining that bullish momentum. But for now, at the current moment, of course, we're still lacking bullish momentum, but still technically within a larger bull market, just taking a bit of a pause during the bull run. And if we're taking a look at the 4-day Bitcoin chart, the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bull market. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, we're still currently forming potentially a massive bearish divergence here, with higher highs in the price and lower highs in the weekly Bitcoin RSI. So this, of course, is something to pay attention to, but maybe in a few months, for example, we might actually create a new higher high and extend the bearish divergence in the price action here with a new higher high in the price and another lower high in the RSI. That could be a likely scenario in the next few weeks or months that we also need to consider. And so for now, this is not necessarily something to act on as of right now, because we're still waiting for more confirmation, but it is something to at least pay attention to as things continue to evolve. But overall, on the larger time frames, things are currently looking more bullish than they are bearish when we're zooming out looking at the bigger picture. It's just for now, we're lacking a bit of bullish momentum in the somewhat shorter term during a larger bull run. And if we're taking a look at the shorter term, looking at the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, of course, just over the last few hours or so, we've actually seen a rejection from this area of resistance. And that's sitting in between around 106,000 to 107,000. And as I've been saying since before this latest rejection, since before the price even hit that area, I've been saying we have a lot of resistance right in between 106,000 to 107,000. So I said, in order to flip much more bullish again and expect new all-time highs, we need to first confirm a breakout above 107,000, because until then, we're simply going to struggle in this area. That's exactly what we saw over the last 1 day. But the good news, at least at the time of recording this video, is that the price of Bitcoin has rejected straight down towards this area of support. So based on previous price action, it is likely we could find support in this area in between around 101,000 to 103,000. But if we actually start flipping more bearish in the short term, and if we start breaking below around 101,000 with confirmation, so candle closes below 101,000, then in that case, the next support I'll be watching is sitting at around just underneath 99,000, so very close to 99,000 as major support. And we also have more support closer towards around 97.6k, and major support all the way down here in between 92k to 93k. But obviously before all of those levels, we still have this area to watch out for in between 101k to 103k, currently acting as a bit of support, at least as of recording this video. And for the time being, the price of Bitcoin is basically within a bit of a sideways price range. While we're still holding above 101k and we're still currently below 107k, we're basically just chopping around sideways between support and resistance. That is the current situation in the shorter term. And like I just said, if we start breaking below 101,000 with confirmation, expect to move down towards these other support levels that I just mentioned. And if we were to see a confirmed breakout above 107,000, so candle closes above that level, then expect the price of Bitcoin to come back up towards the all-time high at roughly around 109,000. And then around there, we could find some resistance. But if we break out into new all-time highs, then we will head towards the price target for this cup and handle pattern, which is still possibly forming. But in order for this to confirm, we need to see a confirmed breakout with a daily candle close above this neckline very soon. And so as I explained in my last video just yesterday in more detail, of course, we're possibly forming this bullish pattern on the daily Bitcoin chart, but it is no way confirmed as of right now, because like I said yesterday, in order to confirm this pattern, we need to first see a daily candle close above around 106 to 107K, ideally breaking out above 107K to break out above this area of resistance. And if we first do that, if we first confirm the breakout, then that will set up a bullish price target based on this cup and handle pattern, which I shared in my last video. So if you want to know more about this possible cup and handle pattern, which could play out if we first confirm the breakout, then check out my last video here on the channel. But I want to make it extra clear that as of right now, this is not in play right now. It is not confirmed. And in fact, if the price of Bitcoin takes too long to eventually see this breakout, so for example, if we just trade sideways for the next couple of weeks and then break out, we would not necessarily be playing out this cup and handle pattern because the handle would simply be too large. And something similar can be said if we see a further pullback in the price of Bitcoin. So for example, if Bitcoin breaks below around 101,000, and especially if Bitcoin starts breaking below around 98 to 99,000, then in that case, essentially this cup and handle pattern would no longer be forming if we see too large of a pullback here. And so in other words, we need to confirm this pattern very soon in order to actually start playing out the pattern. Obviously, we need to see that daily candle close above ideally 107,000, ideally within the next week maximum, but even better if it happens within the next few days, then we can actually start playing out this cup and handle pattern. But in the meantime, it's just something to watch out for in case it confirms. And for now, in the shorter term, we're lacking momentum in terms of the price structure or the trend. We're currently looking somewhat neutral, just chopping around sideways in the shorter term during a much larger bull market. And if you want to actually trade these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I take most of my crypto trades over on Bitfinex. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bitfinex below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim some exclusive rewards that are only available using that link. So if you simply just click that link to make your account, then deposit $100, you get a $20 bonus. Or if you deposit just $1,000 on your account, you get a $100 bonus straight into your new Bitfinex account, but that's only available if you use that link. And also, if you use that link to start trading on Bitfinex, you can get up to a brand new iPhone 16 Pro Max simply just by trading crypto. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link below this video. And also, in case you're wondering, Bitfinex is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want Bitfinex as an exchange, there is also Bybit as another option out there, another exchange that I also trade on. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bybit below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and as of right now, we still have a lot of liquidity sitting just above the price at around 107.3k to 107.6k. So basically in between 107k to 108k as a major area of liquidity. But obviously, as I said earlier, and as I said in my last video just yesterday, between the current Bitcoin price and that major area of liquidity, we have this major area of resistance causing the price to struggle a lot just underneath that area of liquidity. And so really, this is the main thing that's holding the price from new all-time highs. Essentially, once we break out above 107,000, then we could quickly wipe out all of the short positions that would get liquidated at around 107.5k, for example, and basically cause a miniature short squeeze, potentially up towards 110k, because around 110,000, we do have more liquidity building around there. But for now, of course, we're still finding a lot of resistance in this area, as I said throughout this video and yesterday. And as for liquidity to the downside, we do have a small amount at just above 101,000, and also a decent amount building at around just above 97,000, basically in between 97k to 98k. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, and right now the price of ETH is on the very edge of possibly confirming a breakout for this bullish falling wedge pattern, but we still ideally need to see that daily candle close actually confirm above this descending line of resistance, which for now is sitting at close to 3.3k. So if we see the daily candle close confirm above 3.3k, technically that helps to confirm the breakout for this falling wedge. But as I always say, even if we start playing out a falling wedge with a bullish price target, we cannot ignore resistance along the way. So for example, we have a lot of resistance in between around 34.30 to 35.60, more resistance at 3.7k, and major resistance in between 3.9k to 4.1k. And if we're actually looking at this recent pump in the price of ETH over the last 1 to 2 days or so, we basically went straight up towards this area of resistance, as I just mentioned, in between 34.30 to 35.60, and then the moment we started entering into that area just above 34.30, we started rejecting from that area. We started struggling a lot exactly at that area of resistance. And so personally, when it comes to trading moves like this, that's why I like to take some profits here and there out of any long position around key levels of resistance, because it's at those levels of resistance where the price can struggle and possibly turn around. So just keep that in mind. And so overall, the price structure as of recording this video is still more bearish than it is bullish, but we're on the very edge of possibly reversing that if we confirm the breakout for the falling wedge, because that would technically activate a price target at around 4,000. And that would be a very bullish signal for Ethereum if we see the daily candle close confirming the breakout. But just be aware of those areas of resistance and levels of resistance along the way up where the price will also likely struggle at. And in the worst case scenario, if we fail the breakout here and just start pulling back to the downside, we also have a major area of support right here sitting in between 3,000 to 3.1k. But with that being said, taking a look at the price of Solana on the 8-hour time frame, and right now Solana is rejecting from very close to this level of resistance at around $245 to $246. So for now, that is still acting as strong resistance in the short term, and above that level we have more resistance at 260 and more resistance at around 271 approximately. And as for support, we have major support in this area based on previous support and also previous resistance flipping into new support, and that's sitting in between around $220 to $225. So if we continue the short-term pullback, that's the area of support to watch out for, important support. And if we were to actually break below $220, then in that case, the next important area of support is sitting in between $200 to $205. And overall, in the imminent short term, the price structure is relatively neutral. The price is just bouncing around sideways between support and resistance, but the larger structure is slightly more bearish, forming lower highs and lower lows. So that is the current situation for Solana. And of course, Solana follows similar price action to Bitcoin and a lot of the major altcoins. So if Bitcoin has a major pump or a major dump, Solana will likely play out something similar. And if we're taking a quick look at the price of XRP on the 4-hour time frame, the price structure and the momentum for XRP is still relatively neutral. Overall, we're not overly bullish or overly bearish in the short term. We're basically just chopping around sideways, as we could see, and as I've already been saying for the last few days. And so not much has really changed for the price of XRP in that regard. And when it comes to important support to watch out for, as of recording this video, we're currently testing and possibly starting to break this short-term level of support at around $3.04. But below that, we also have more support at around $2.95 to $2.96. And below that, we have important support all the way down here in between $2.60 to $2.70. But overall, like I just said, the price of XRP for now is lacking momentum in the shorter term. And as for resistance, we do have important resistance right here at around $3.20, and also more resistance in between around $3.29 to $3.37. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink on the 4-hour time frame, the price of Chainlink over the last couple of days obviously bounced from this level of support here, which was sitting at around $22.30. So that is still important support to watch out for if we see a larger pullback here. Once again, $22.30 as major support. And just over the last 1 day or so, we actually continued playing out this double bottom pattern, also known as a W pattern, and actually perfectly hit the technical price target for this pattern, which I shared in my last video just yesterday before that latest pump just here. And I said the technical price target is sitting at around $26.40, and the price of Chainlink went to pretty much exactly to the nearest cent, $26.40, right into that area of resistance, exactly where I said the price would start struggling. And so obviously we precisely saw that in the price of Chainlink over the last one day. The price went straight towards that price target at $26.40, and then the moment we started to get towards that level, we struggled in that area of resistance. And the area of resistance I'm talking about, by the way, is in between $26.20 to $27. So for now, that is still acting as major resistance for the price of Chainlink. But of course, we did briefly break out above this area of previous resistance and could possibly now act as some support, and that's sitting in between around $24.60 to $25.30. But if we actually break back below around $24.60, in that case, we could find some support at around $24.20. But honestly, below that, the next important support is, like I said earlier, at around $22.30. And below that level, we also have more support down here, sitting in between around $19.50 to $20.50. And unlike, let's just say, XRP or the price of Solana, Chainlink is actually looking slightly more bullish than some of these other coins, as we are playing out this W pattern, which obviously is now fully played out. We've already hit the price target, but technically speaking, the price structure is looking slightly more bullish than it is bearish for the price of Chainlink, at least as of right now. But of course, if we break back below some of these levels that I just mentioned, then that would essentially reverse that just in the short term. And so ultimately, if we break these levels, we could just be forming a massive sideways price range here between this support at just above $22 and this resistance at around close to $27. So ultimately a massive sideways price range, like I just said, if we break below these levels. And as always, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, you can profit from all of that price action by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.